Hello and welcome to the Florida Patriots Show. I'm your host, David Flores, coming to you from Orlando, Florida, the city beautiful. First, I want to welcome all of our offline viewers who are now joining us online from Tampa to Plant City to Kissimmee to Orlando to DeLand to Daytona. Thank you all for your supportive tweets and your emails asking about how I was doing after getting fired for supporting Donald Trump. I can't tell you how much your thoughts mean to me. For those who may not know, I worked at a local radio station here in Central Florida. They found out I supported Donald Trump and they fired me. In case you're wondering if I was being overly political with my employer, I actually wasn't. In fact, I never even told anybody who I supported in the presidential election or even in any local election for that matter. I kept to myself. Unfortunately, they saw a Donald Trump bumper sticker I had on my car, and that's how they found out that I supported Donald Trump. They actually cornered me, asked me who I was voting for this election. I was honest with them and I told them I was going to be supporting Mr. Trump. And right then and there, they canned me. That's right, we no longer live in a free society where we can vote for whoever we want. This is why I look like the Unabomber, because I don't want to get fired or harassed from anyone else ever again. So me and a small group of people decided to start our own show to expose Hillary's corruption and, more importantly, to show the world how much support Mr. Trump actually has among minorities like Latinos. Before we go any further, I'm going to talk a little bit about my background for our new audience members and why I, as a Latino, support Donald Trump. Democrats say Donald Trump has no support among Latino voters or patriotic Muslims or black people. I'm here to tell you they are dead wrong. I'm an example of one of many Latinos who support Donald Trump. My mother is Mexican, my father is Peruvian. They came here legally in the 70s and paid their dues, paid their thousands of dollars to attorney's fees just to navigate the immigration system. They waited their turn in line and then they finally became citizens, not feeling entitled to becoming American citizens just because they're special or just because they feel like they're owed something. They waited their turn in line and they became U.S. citizens the right way. Not only that, they actually had something to offer this country, their new home, the United States. My mother is a teacher, my father is an electrical engineer. So they actually had some useful skills to bring to their new home, the United States, and become productive members of society. To my fellow Latino conservatives out there who listen to our show, we stand with you. We receive thousands, I mean literally thousands of tweets and emails a week from Latinos supporting Donald Trump. But let's be real here for a moment. Sadly, there are still some Latinos who are being sold lies from the mainstream media. So I want to connect with my fellow Latino brothers and sisters in a way only a fellow Latino American can. I especially want to connect with my fellow Latino American brothers and sisters who may be undecided during this election period or may even be supporting Hillary Clinton. Sorry. Mis hermanos y hermanas mexicanos. My Mexican brothers and sisters, my Peruvian brothers and sisters, my Puertorriqueños, Cubanos, Colombianos, my fellow Latino brothers and sisters from all across America. We have to take back our identity from those who have done nothing great for us. The Democrats want us Latinos to just give them our precious Latino votes without even earning it. They lied to us about what they've done for us. But let me ask you something. What have they done for us Latinos? You have heard Democrats scare you about Donald Trump and tell you lies, but my brothers and sisters, let me tell you the truth. The mainstream media won't tell you. Who has deported more Latinos than anyone in American history? Hillary Clinton and Obama. So when Donald Trump proposes deporting illegal aliens, he's a racist. But when Hillary and Obama do it, it's just fine. You see a double standard there? Who let hundreds of innocent people die in Honduras when a military coup took over the country? Hillary Clinton. Who lied about helping Haiti after the terrible and devastating earthquake, but instead got rich and got her friends rich from their tragedy and pillaged the Haitian people? Hillary Clinton. Don't take my word for it. Listen for a Haitian person who was there tell you.
People of color, wake up! Jail for Hillary!
The world should know about the crimes the Clinton family has committed against the country of Haiti.
The Bill Clinton Foundation stole money! Haiti's earthquake relief money!
They pretend
pretend they like us. They've been deceiving us. It's time for us to wake up.
Are you guys immigrants?
Yes, I'm from Haiti.
You support Donald Trump?
Yes, yes.
Bill Clinton signed laws to incarcerate black people. We don't want the Clintons. They are criminals. They are evil. See, the media is portraying Donald Trump as a racist against immigrant. He's not against immigrant. He's against the criminal who's coming in here committing crimes. He's not against a Muslim. He's against terrorists. You see, the Clintons and the Democrats, all they're doing is just entertaining those criminals.
Why don't you guys like Hillary?
We hate Hillary because Bill Clinton signed laws to incarcerate black people. All the Clintons are doing is more jails, more projects, more welfare. We need opportunities just like anybody else. They pretend they like us. They've been deceiving us. It's time for us to wake up.
Who pushed for a free trade agreement with Panama, which made it easier to launder money for criminals and drug dealers? You guessed it, Hillary Clinton. Who stole Mexico's oil and wealth just so she could get rich herself and cause the destruction that's happening today in Mexico? Hillary Clinton. Who threatened El Salvador in 2012 that she would not help their country with aid and development unless they bought GMO seeds from her big corporate friends? Hillary Clinton. They scare you about Donald Trump being cruel to Latinos, but listen to what Hillary Clinton, the great Latino savior, said about what she would do to child refugees coming from Central America.
What about right now, as we're seeing these thousands of children come across, shunted off into makeshift shelters?
It's horrible.
Hard choice. Let them stay in the United States or send them back?
Well, 2 quick points. One, the numbers are increasing dramatically. And the main reason, I believe, why that's happening is that the violence in certain of those Central American countries is increasing dramatically. And there is not sufficient law enforcement or will on the part of the governments of those countries to try to deal with this exponential increase in violence, drug trafficking, the drug cartels, and many children are fleeing from that violence.
Should they be able to stay here? It's safer.
It may be safer, but that's not the answer. I do not.
So should they be sent back?
Well, first of all, we have to provide the best emergency care we can provide. We have children 5 and 6 years old who have come up from Central America. We need to do more to provide border security in southern Mexico.
They should be sent back now.
Well, they should be sent back, but we have to send a clear message. Just because your child gets across the border, that doesn't mean the child gets to stay. So
the media makes you think Mr. Trump is cruel and scary for suggesting our country have a wall to protect us. But guess who proposed the same thing?
Mexico is such an important problem on our doorstep. I hope that the new government will have a concerted commitment to a jobs program to employ Mexicans. I mean, honestly, I wish they would go back. Very briefly on immigration, I hope that we get back to comprehensive immigration reform. We've had a unfortunate political season where the issue has been used as a political football. There isn't any sensible approach except to do what we need to do simultaneously, secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers. We need to try to incentivize Mexico to do more.
So you see, my Latino brothers and sisters, when Trump makes the same proposals as Hillary, he's racist. But when Hillary makes the same proposals, it's great. Mis hermanos y hermanas, you are being taken advantage of by the Democrats who only care about their position in government. For the first time, you have someone who is not a politician, who has a track record of actually hiring and helping Latinos.
You worked for Donald Trump?
Yes, glad we're just talking about that. Yeah, I got to work for him for a couple years as his executive assistant, and I got to have first-hand experience of what he's really all about. He is a remarkable man. He is amazing to work with.
Was he ever like, you're Mexican American, right?
Yes, I'm Mexican American, and he's never ever made a racist remark
I was gonna ask
me.
you, yeah.
He was never even racist to any of the other ethnicities he's ever done business with. He's very cooperative. He's very charming. He's very calm, and he's very family oriented. He's very caring for the community. He goes and donates money without the press being present, and he does it all out of his heart. He doesn't wear it on his sleeve. He just...
So how was it like working for him though? Was he like was he barely there at work, or was he like...
no. He's very...
Was he a hard ass to work for? So he never said anything racist, offensive, nothing?
No. He's very devoted to his work. He was never ever racist towards me, and he was never ever being sexist towards me. Like, unlike from what you hear in the online, he's treats everybody in the staff really well, fairly. He makes everyone feel very comfortable, and he's a pleasant man to work with.
We need to use our God-given sense and reject what the mainstream media is lying to us about. The same mainstream media that has been exposed by WikiLeaks as having an open bias for Hillary Clinton. We need to take back our voice. We need to take back our vote from the Democrats. We need to show them our votes are valuable. We need to vote for the only one who cares about our future. We need to vote for Mr. Trump. We'll be right back. We all know Donald Trump's support is surging among voters, especially now with the FBI reinvestigation of Hillary Clinton's emails. But the GOP establishment, in collusion with the mainstream media, they want you to focus on where his support is lagging, which is namely the GOP establishment.
Many within the GOP saying not contrite enough, and the list goes on about those within the GOP who are criticizing him. So the stakes are very high.
In the Unresolved Problems segment tonight, GOP defections from Donald Trump. Some big-name Republicans are so anti-Trump, they say they'll vote for Hillary Clinton.
So the voters are supposed to care about the fact that the GOP establishment are dropping their support for Donald Trump? That same group that Americans hate more than lice and gonorrhea, that group hates Donald Trump? That actually makes me like Mr. Trump even more. This is what the establishment doesn't get. They think voters actually care about how the establishment want us to vote. You, the establishment, don't understand the reason why we don't like Congress. It's because you have no morals or ethics. You have no guiding principles.
A barking carnival act that can best be described as Trumpism. A toxic mix of demagoguery and mean-spiritedness and nonsense that will lead the Republican Party to perdition if pursued. Let no one be mistaken. Donald Trump's candidacy is a cancer on conservatism, and it must be clearly diagnosed, excised, and discarded.
Last year, Rick Perry called the presumptive Republican nominee a cancer on conservatism. But after Donald Trump defeated Ted Cruz and John Kasich, the former governor quickly changed his tune. KXAN's political reporter Phil Prazen shows us Governor Perry would even consider working with Trump.
Former Governor Perry faced the Texas press to say he'd entertain being vice president with Donald Trump at the top of the ticket.
I will entertain helping my country. I don't have any idea what that may entail. If Donald Trump says, Perry, let's talk about you helping in this role, I'm open to it.
Most Americans don't behave that way. The last thing we want is more establishment figures endorsing Donald Trump. In fact, the less, the better. We want Mr. Trump to be as far removed from these corrupt politicians as possible. So please, GOP establishment, continue to not endorse Mr. Trump. We want you to not endorse him because that'll only make us like him more. Speaking directly to Mr. Trump here, Mr. Trump, we know the media has made a big frenzy about the video of you talking about grabbing pussy, but your supporters like me don't really care about something that happened so long ago as long as you don't get caught on camera grabbing this one.